Hi, Mitchell Levy, global credibility expert. And I'm loving the Leaders Living Their Values series where we get to talk to super cool humans kind of about who they are and what they do. And Joe Siecinski is no exception to being in the super cool category. Joe, welcome.
Thank you, Mitchell. It's an honor and privilege to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me and allowing me to take some of your time today.
Oh, well, you're so worth of taking some of my time or I get as much value out of you. So we're consuming together. And I'd love to say, Joe, who are you?
Well, thank you. First of all, I was born in France, raised in Missouri, and live in Silicon Valley. Last week, I celebrated my 31st wedding anniversary. Woo!
Nice.
I don't know how she's put up with me for 31 years. I don't know if I would have put up with myself. I've got 4 grandkids, one 18 that I just got back from Europe with, and the youngest is 2 years old that's living at home with us during the COVID days. So, and I'm a veteran of the United States Army, hoorah, and spent 25 years with a little company called Hewlett Packard. And I love to help people. And I also sit on the board for the Red Cross and for the College of Adaptive Arts and a couple other things. So I believe in helping out the universe.
Y- So wait, so you took your 18-year-old to Europe.
Yes,
That sounds cool.
it
How did
was
that
cool.
go?
Well, he's from the Midwest. He's from kind of out in the country of Missouri. And so Rome was a culture shock for him. he's like, the cars don't follow any rules, and everybody's just. I'm like, yeah, that's Rome. I told him that when I went to Italy before, I actually rented a car and drove in Rome, and it was such a blast because it's like there's no rules.
Uh, Absolutely. Okay, so no rules on the road. Agreed.
Well,
What was it?
there's one rule: don't make eye contact.
Mm,
or that's my rule.
what was for him? What turned out to be the most exciting piece of it?
I think the most exciting piece was the Oracle at Delphi, going up in those mountains and going up there and learning about the history of it, and just I mean, when we are looking at some of these columns at some of the Colosseum in Rome and all the things that were like, how was this built? I mean, this was 2,000 years ago. How did they build this super huge columns without the technology we have today? It was just it was fantastic.
Hmm. Right. So not looking at the rules. I think I what's interesting about Rome for me is when you go as a tourist, it's hot and dirty. We actually rented a house there for a month, and then sort of being there as like almost not quite local, but being there more local like there's a lot of really interesting things going on.
Oh, a lot of things. This was actually an educational tour that his school sponsored. So yeah, it was a company called Education First, and so there was about 20 kids from his school that were all together, and then there was actually 2 other schools that were a part of the thing, and so it was really an educational opportunity for these kids to get out from get out of the country and actually see that there's different things happening in different places, and that the United States of America is not very old, relatively speaking. I mean, you think about it, you see the stuff that 2,000 years old, and some of it 3,000 years old in Greece, and we were actually at a place where they said Caesar probably walked, and it was
Hmm.
you just like, wow, what kind of I mean, just the history. It's we it's just amazing, and some of the buildings that they had and the technology they had and the water systems and everything. It's like, wow, I mean, they're not that different than today, and they didn't have the technology we have.
Hmm. Clearly you're passionate about, at least from every conversation we have, but even now, you're passionate about life, you're passionate about family. What are some of the values you bring, other values you bring to the table?
Well, one of the big things I was kind of thinking about this is congruency. And it's, if, as a business mentor, if I'm not doing things in my business, how can I teach other people to do it? So that congruency thing is a big deal to me. Integrity, congruency, those are two things that I really value and thinks it's really important to me.
Hmm. What's your definition of congruency?
Well, yeah, kind of what I do is I help build a business that works without you. Well, if my business, if I'm not building it that way too, then what am I doing? It's like it's incongruent. I've watched a lot of people out there, and you've seen them before too, where they're teaching something, but they're not living it. Well, if you're not living it, it's not okay. That's you got to be living it. It's if you're going to be teaching something, you better be living it. That's just the way it's supposed to be.
By the way, I don't disagree. Okay, so I like that as a C. There's a lot of C words I like: credibility, clarity, consistency, now congruency. Uh, Tell me what else? What other value is important to you?
Integrity. I mean, my background with the military instilled a lot of things with me. And actually, it was funny. I was at a scouting event. Can't call them Boy Scouts anymore. Scouting event the other day, and I was like, wow, a lot of this, the scout motto, be prepared and trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Those are core things of who I am now, from my time there, and it's that those are things that are important that sometimes I think that we might forget in this interesting world we live in.
Now, by the way, I like the scout motto thing. Do it again, but do it slower.
Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Hmm. Now it's amazing that there's an organization that you could be part of, have your kids, your grandkids be part of. And when was the last time? Like, when were you actually part of this Scouts?
Wow. I'm trying to think of. I was an assistant scoutmaster probably 20 years ago,
Hmm.
and then back back in the Missouri days, I was a scout for years and years and years, and that was just part of. Um, I don't know. It's part of who you become is
Yeah.
your experiences, and as I look back and all the merit badges and all the stuff I went through, and you think, wow, my canoeing merit badge and my swimming merit badge and basket weaving merit badge and all these things. um, you learned a lot, and that's also kind of continuous learning or lifelong learning is really important to me. I continue to read 2 books a month is my goal. I'm pretty consistent with that. Just finished Chop Wood, Carry Water. I like
Hmm.
that was interesting. It had a lot of little bits of a lot of other books in there, which was kind of cool. So that was I wonder if I can get any kudos for mentioning that book.
I'm sure you can.
But
What you want to do is go to the places we've posted, and then tag. You know,
that's a good idea.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it'll be fun.
tag the authors. So that'd be great. All right. So still staying with the scouting, what what sort of skill set did you pick up there that you're actually teaching now when you're working with your clients?
Well, goal setting. I mean, time management, finance, um, not so much operations, not so much marketing, but team definitely.
Team. Yeah.
Team, yeah, because everything comes down to people are the only place that math doesn't work. People are the place where 1 + 1 + 1 could equal 5. You
Hmm.
could accomplish as much as 5 individuals when you're working as a team. And that translates to the military my military background too. Those small elite teams can accomplish a lot.
Joe, I always do it this way. If you're a person and you're teaming with somebody else, 1 + 1 = 11.
Oh, I like that. Can I borrow that?
Please.
I like that. And it's true. It's a small team of dedicated, focused people can accomplish a lot.
Hmm. What do you see today that from who you are and how you show up? Obviously, or maybe it's not obvious, but it seems obvious that you apply this to your day-to-day job. When clients come to you, do they have to fit with all your values, or where's there a no shop? Where's there a showstopper? Where is there something that says I can't take you on as a client?
It's if you're not willing to learn, it's that
Yeah.
I know syndrome. If somebody's like, I know, it's if you already know everything, I don't think I can help you too much.
Can I say I know what you're talking about? Just
Eh,
kidding.
is it? Well, what's funny is my coach tells me everybody's coachable. You're just not good enough. Oh, and I'm like, I don't know. There's some people I just if there's not a good relationship, where you feel good. I mean, you want to feel good at the end of the day, and if I don't, then I don't necessarily want to work with them. It's okay.
I one of the core values of the 10 values of credibility, one of them is being coachable.
Yep.
And so that's important. And it was interesting. Let's go back to your integrity for a second. I answered a question for Dear Credibility Experts. So this is where I answer a credibility question in 10 minutes. Oh, at some point in time, I'd love you to send me a video with a credibility question, and then we'll answer it on that YouTube channel. And the question was, how do I deal with working for a boss who is known to not have integrity? And so let me tell you what I came up with, and then I'd love you to add to that because I still feel like I'm missing. So I talked about how to get around it. Like you could be an accountability partner by keeping notes of what the boss says and then sending an email following through saying this is what we talked about. All right. But then at the end of the day, what I was thinking about, so by the way, for me, if I have a client that doesn't have integrity, they no longer they get fired. Right. And then the thing that's interesting, if you're working for somebody who doesn't have integrity, to me, I think you have to love what you do. Next question is on culture. You need to love what you do. And if you love what you do, it's not this 4-letter word called work. Right. And
Yep.
and I don't know if you can love what you do if you have a boss that doesn't have integrity. So I left that conversation. This is me talking for 10 minutes on the answer. And I'm thinking, wow, the answer is it's time to go somewhere else if you can't change your boss. And typically that's not easy.
So, what I've recommended for people in similar situations is to give them a book like The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, one of my favorites, and see if they get the hint, and just to be totally honest and truthful with them. Hey, I got a problem here, and if this may not work out, it's okay. People quit their jobs every day. It's not a big deal. It's people are like it's I spent 25 years with Hewlett Packard Agilent Technologies. I had lots of different bosses. I was lucky to have some really really great mentors over the years, but I see some people that are not, and it's okay. Change jobs, leave. I mean, what was there was a stat that I think 68% of people leave a job or quit a job not because of the company, but because of their direct supervisor.
Yes. Oh, that actually, I think that is the right number. That's the number I remember seeing too.
Yeah, I did a video on it not too long ago with something like that, and it's like, and what amazes me is how companies don't put more effort into training their managers. And it's like, how can you know expect someone to be successful? Leadership is a skill. It's not, I mean, that's why you have the West Point and the Annapolis and the academies and all these different. Leadership is a skill that you have to develop, just like anything else. And by the way, one of my favorite is John Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. What I
Agreed.
mean, yeah,
Agreed. It's powerful.
yeah, it's and it's it's not anything that's complex. It's just do what you say what you do, and do the right thing.
So, how do you go about? Is this part of when you're coaching CEOs? What size companies typically do you work with?
My target's that 10 to 20 million,
Okay,
getting
so
them to 50.
got it. Thank you. So you're working with those companies. Where does culture come in? Where does teaching teaching them to be better leaders? Where does that come in?
So here's one of my favorites. Company's culture is defined by the worst behavior a leader is willing to tolerate.
Agreed.
And it becomes that simple. And it's you develop your leadership, you go through your leadership training, but that the company the culture is defined by the leader. And if he's not walking the talk, that's another good book, Walk the Talk, is then it's not going to work. And I mean, you've seen it, I've seen it. It's those leaders that see where they want to go and lead the way. You lead people, you manage processes. You don't manage people. You manage processes.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Well, yeah. You lead people, you manage
You lead
process.
people, you manage process. I like that one.
And because that, everything, you can develop process and KPIs and metrics for everything, but that's the process that you're measuring. You lead the people. Not everybody. Let me rephrase that. Most people want to do a good job. You just got to show them what a good job is and let them go do it. Give them the tools, systems, processes, and resources that they need to do a good job. Most people want to do a good job. Just let them. What was it? I think it was Steve Jobs. We hire good people and give them the tools, training, and resources so they can tell us what to do, not so we can tell them what to do.
Oh, yes.
I like the other one is the upside down org chart. Where you got the org chart that is the leader up the top. I like at HP we turn it upside down. The leader's job is to support the organization, not to be at the top and crap on everybody.
So when you're working with the companies that are 10 to 20 million on their way up, what are the values that you see are most relevant that they bring to the table?
Wow, that's a really good question. I don't know if it's a value more as much as a skill set of that strategic direction of defining that communication process of this is where we want to go, this is how we're going to get there, and getting everybody behind it, pulling that team together. And to me, that's all about a communication and walking the talk and holding people accountable to some extent. I mean, I see when I say that, what I mean is, if you see somebody come in late and you don't say anything to them, then you're actually saying that that's okay to come in late. And and that's what I mean by accountability. It's like the 1 minute manager, Spencer Johnson. It's simple stuff. It's not complicated. You just have to do it.
You got to say Spencer Johnson and Ken Blanchard.
And Ken, yes,
and Ken Blanchard.
And Ken Blanchard.
So, technically, it's the other way around, but that's okay.
It's there's so many books and leaderships out there. All you gotta do is internalize it a little bit, and then get someone to be your mentor. I mean, I've had great mentors over the years, and you got to find somebody that you're going to resonate with, and that's okay. I mean, my most important mentor is my wife.
Nice.
She's not afraid to tell me the way it is.
Oh, I would say we should go through life with 6 simultaneous sponsors or mentors, one of them being an accountability sponsor. That is sounds like both of our wives do that for us.
Yeah, I remember back in we met at work, my wife and I remember we were both individual contributors at the time, and she said something like, "This is not okay." And I don't remember what I did, but she goes, "We're dating, and that's not okay that you did whatever I did." And she just, boy, she reined me in.
Wow, interesting. I like it. That's really fascinating. Huh. Oh, how do you find a good mentor? If you said you need one, you said
Yes.
coachability is important. How do you find one?
So what I actually recommend is writing down what you're looking for and what you're not looking for. It's like any goal setting or anything. If you know what you're looking for, it's easy to find. If you don't know what you're looking for, it's really hard to find. You're just going to bump into people. And so write down exactly what you're looking for, and then go start interviewing. Most people will spend more time interviewing accountants I've interviewed my accountants, doctors. I mean, this is a relationship that you're probably going to have for a while. You want to make sure it's going to work. So interview them, chat with them, find out what their skills are. Do they balance you out? Do they have the education, knowledge, experience for what you're looking for? If you're focused at sales, then maybe you need a sales coach, or marketing, you need a marketing coach, or a business. If you're running a business mentor. So it depends on what you're looking for. Define it, write it down.
I like it. I like that. Hey, Joe, is there a question I should have asked that I didn't ask?
How was Greece? It was fabulous.
We did sort of ask that one.
Yeah, we did sort of ask that one. It's my honor and privilege to be here. You know that I just released BrainSHARE.online, the version 2.0, and that's really helping a lot of businesses that don't necessarily want a mentor at the time. They want to kind of do it yourself. So that's something that I've really spent the last 6 months putting together. And I'm actually really proud of it. There's over 200 lessons in there.
Nice. Yeah,
and
we've talked to you in different points of time of you putting that together. How about you're considering buying an island or a hotel?
So
sounds like Monopoly, actually.
Yeah. Well, the goal is still to buy the island and make it a scuba diving resort. But I wanted to get a little experience, I think, in the hospitality space. So we're looking at some hotels in Costa Rica right now. We just put an offer in on one. We'll see what happens.
Nice.
So I'll run that. I figure run that for about 2 years and then flip it, and then go to the island. My wife says I won't last more than 6 months, and I'll get bored out of my brain and come back. But it'll be a fun 6 months.
For some odd reason that you appreciate, from what I could see, you appreciate life and every experience so much. I don't see you getting bored of doing this.
You know, um, you can have fun no matter where you are or what you're doing. You make a conscious decision what kind of mood you're in every day. You get up and you say, "Hey, I can be in a good mood if I want to be in a good mood." You can consciously change your subconscious mind by just switching the modalities a little bit.
Yeah.
And, and I have the privilege of helping people do that.
Oh, yeah. How many people have you helped? How many companies have you worked with?
Well over 2,000. I haven't calculated it out. My goal for this next year is I want to get to 10,000. So
Ooh.
yeah, this is going to be a fun year. Um, I'm actually doing better than I thought. I looked at some of my views on the YouTube and the other places, and I'm getting some pretty good traffic. So uh, I'm uh, I'm on my way.
I love it. Hey, Joe, thanks so much for joining us. How best can people reach out to you?
If you go to brainshare.online and just click the schedule a discovery session, we'll get together, chat about where you're at, where you want to go, and how to get you there the most expedient manner. And it's my honor and privilege to help people.
Oh, I love that. Anyhow, thanks again, Joe. Really appreciate it.
Mitchell, thank you. And you are the credibility master.
Well, thank you for that. And
Keep
hey,
spreading the cred dust.
exactly. Well, speaking of spreading cred dust, this is now your chance. If you're here at the end, it's time to click on the like button, write a comment, share with your friends. We'll see you at the next episode. Take care. Bye, everyone.